In today's society, there is a strong emphasis on self-care and prioritizing oneself. However, what happens when this self-absorption becomes extreme and individuals only care about themselves? Is it possible for society as a whole to reach a point where everyone is so focused on themselves that they forget about others? To explore this topic, we can delve into biblical teachings and examine stories and parables that highlight the dangers of selfishness. By understanding the consequences of extreme self-centeredness, we can gain insight into the importance of balance, empathy, and service towards others. The story of the Good Samaritan in Luke chapter 10 is a powerful illustration of what happens when people stop caring about others. In this parable, a man is robbed and left half dead on the road. A priest and a Levite pass by and ignore the man's plight. However, a Samaritan, a member of a despised group, shows compassion and takes care of him. Through this story, Jesus teaches us that when we stop caring about the well-being of others, we become disconnected from our humanity and fail to live according to the principles of love and empathy. So let's dive deeper into the concept of people not caring about others and what it means for society as a whole. We'll consider the biblical perspective, real-world examples, and the potential consequences of a society that prioritizes individual needs over the common good. Signs of the end times in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verses 3 to 8. Jesus teaches his disciples about the signs that will indicate the end of the age. And he mentions wars and rumors of wars as one of them. Throughout history, there have been numerous wars and conflicts, and it seems that violence and aggression continue to be part of human nature. Some people believe that as we see more wars happening around the world, it could be a sign that the end of times is approaching. Another sign Jesus mentioned is false Christs and false prophets. He warned that during the last days, many will come in his name claiming to be the Messiah, and they will deceive many. This sign points to a time when deception and false teachings become widespread, and people may become confused about what is true and what is false. Natural disasters are also mentioned as a sign of the end times. Jesus talked about earthquakes and famines occurring in various places. These events can cause widespread destruction and suffering, and some people believe that their increasing frequency could be a sign that the end of times is approaching. As we witness these signs, it is important to remember that Jesus did not give a specific timeline for their occurrence. Rather, he taught his disciples to be prepared and to recognize that these signs may occur before his return. It is up to each individual to interpret these signs and determine their significance in their own faith and understanding. Lack of love. 1 John chapter 3 verse 16 says, "By this we know love, because he laid down his life for us, and we also ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." This passage teaches us that true love is sacrificial and selfless. Jesus showed us the greatest example of love by laying down his life for humanity. Similarly, we are called to show love by being willing to sacrifice our own interests and comfort for the well-being of others. When people stop caring about others and become consumed with their own needs and desires, it indicates a lack of love and compassion. Selfishness can lead to a breakdown in relationships and a decline in empathy and concern for the welfare of others. A society where people no longer care about each other can become fragmented and ununited, lacking the sense of community and support that is essential for human flourishing. It's judgment. In Isaiah chapter 4 verses 5 to 6, it states, "And on that day the Lord will take his sharp, great and mighty sword and bring judgment on Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, Leviathan, the coiling serpent, and he will slay the dragon of the sea." This passage refers to a time of judgment when God will intervene and punish those who have done evil. Specifically, it mentions the destruction of Leviathan, a symbol of chaos and evil, and the slaying of the dragon of the sea. When people stop caring about others, it can be seen as a rejection of God's commandments and a departure from his teachings of love and compassion. Such behavior can lead to judgment, either in the sense of divine punishment or in the breaking down of social order and harmony. A society that values individualism over community and fails to care for the well-being of its members may ultimately face the consequences of its actions, whether through social unrest, economic collapse, or a loss of moral integrity. Let's break down the family bonds in Malachi chapter 4 verses 1 and 2. It says, "For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, and all the proud and all who do wickedly will be stubble. And the day will devour them, says the Lord of hosts. But to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings, and you shall go out and leap like calves from the stall." This passage speaks of a day of judgment that will come for those who are wicked and disobedient to God. It also offers hope to those who fear God and follow His teachings, promising them restoration and healing. The breakdown of family bonds and the weakening of social connections can be seen as a reflection of the decline of moral values and the erosion of traditional social structures. When people stop caring about their families and communities, it can lead to a breakdown in trust and a decline in social cohesion. This breakdown can contribute to a sense of isolation and fragmentation within society and can undermine the sense of belonging and support that is essential for human well-being. Final warning, Matthew chapter 24 verse 14 says, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." This passage emphasizes the importance of spreading the message of the gospel to all nations as a final witness before the end of the world. It highlights the urgency and global scope of this mission and serves as a reminder for Christians to share their faith. Be prepared for the second coming of Jesus Christ. As we approach the end of this message, I want to leave you with a final thought, okay? If you feel that people are no longer caring about one another, it is crucial to remember the importance of compassion, empathy, and service towards others. Cultivating these qualities within ourselves can help create a positive ripple effect in our communities and remind us of the values that truly matter in life. Let us strive to be a generation that cares, that loves, and that makes a difference in the lives of those around us. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Have you noticed the decline in people caring about others in our society? How has this affected your own life and relationships? Feel free to share your experiences and insights in the comment section below. Your comments may help others who are going through similar thoughts and feelings. Remember, you matter and your voice matters. So please, don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Let us engage in a meaningful conversation about the importance of caring for one another and creating a more compassionate world together.